Alright, people, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to another rendition of Pass the Mic. I got something to motherfucking say. And trust me, tonight I do have a lot to say. First of all, I appreciate everybody coming on and joining me tonight. If you're going to join me, I appreciate it. It's just one of them things tonight. You know what I'm saying? You ever been in one of these difficult positions in your life that you never thought you'd be in charge of? Well, yeah, excuse me. We're in one of them. So, as y'all are aware, the Pearl River was filled up. Is overflowing right now. It's flowing into the city of Jackson right now. Right now, it's a pain in the ass for us because, like, honest to goodness, we were relocated out of our homes. Me, my wife, my stepdaughter, and my stepson. He ain't with us, but for the last couple of days has not been like the most like perkiest thing in the world that we've been through. I We're in a hotel tonight, and I don't before anybody say like why didn't go stay with people. I'm gonna let everybody know. It's probably if anybody actually know about how stuff goes, um, it's one of them things where you have to really consider that grown folks want to have their own stuff and they feel comfortable. Like I said, me and my wife been living in our house right now. We just made 3 years living in a house. We were renting this house for the last 3 years. The last flood was in like '83, and you never expect anything like this to happen. You really don't have a contingency plan. And I knew my pastor back in the day used to tell me it's not what can happen, it's when it's going to happen. Nobody expects a flood in Mississippi. Maybe that's why nobody was prepared as they should be. Hence why I'm sitting here on this couch in here eating animal crackers, drinking water. But I digress. It is one of them things that is just kind of real interesting, you know what I'm saying, that you think you didn't get in this position. So, let's say, when we first started, I was saying, y'all appreciate it. Y'all go listen. If once, the podcast through, y'all go on the Apple Music and Spotify. Tune in, listen for 60 seconds. I appreciate everybody doing it. So, like I say, let me move on. So, I decided to do a little podcast. Really, I've been trying to do a couple of documentaries, showing the life about how we've been, doing lately, about how we handle this situation. Well, my wife has been real. She, like the other day, she was like really, really frustrated. So it's one of them things like, hey, we got to get up, go through, and just kind of surf ourselves through. I try and stay calm. I try and stay calm and positive because being like frantic and all over the place ain't doing any. It's not gonna do my family any good to see, the leader breaking down and stuff like that. I did have a moment a little earlier because the simple fact, I feel like I should have had something in place. Like I've been talking about doing all this stuff, like and have all this stuff in place where we wouldn't have to. If anything ever happened, we wouldn't be in this big predicament where we didn't know where to go. Well, the thing is, on my side, I got a double whammy because not only did we have to evacuate our house, and I wish I could show y'all the pictures of how our street, our house ain't made it yet. The water hadn't made it to our house yet, but our street to our house, there's flooding. The streets are flooded. Our cul-de-sac hadn't flooded, just our street going to our house. Hence why we had to evacuate. We like my truck, it wouldn't make it going through the water because it's not high enough. Right about now, my father-in-law has a 4x4 that we got into, and we messed around. We rode around in, just going to see different places and stuff like that. True enough, but we went out of my office. Plus, guess what? My office street is underwater too. Not my office, just the street that my office is on. Double whammy. So guess what? At a certain point, I can't work, can't go home. So now I'm in a position where like it's something they like kind of cracked me across my head. Like I didn't know what to do with this little option I got. So I'm like, should I even do a podcast while I'm doing here? Like, my wife said you should have just did one to document how we living. I think if I did this a couple of days a week, maybe it might take my mind off. So hopefully this is kind of one of them things like I can get my mind off of, kind of do. And I got other projects I'm working on, like trying to get my home inspection license and do Instacart and stuff like that. I got to start focusing on stuff. Either way, I still got a way to make money and stuff like that. So I can't be like down and out about I can't make money because it's up to me if I'm making money or not. So I still have positive even towards his negative. So moving on. So like I said, we're in a hotel right now, and we stayed in a hotel last night. And if you are from the city of Jackson, like this really make to me, I call this situation ghetto because it's like we're moving from hotel to hotel right now, trying to just find a place to settle in it, and it's just kind of being real up in the air about stuff. So you really don't know which way you're going if you're going or coming. So it's like okay, well we need to do better. So I kind of get in my little flesh about it stuff like that. But my wife, she's been a real trooper about stuff, so I can't really complain because she's like, well, we got to do this, we got to do that. We got to close at my mother-in-law's house, and it's like trying to figure out how to move in this instance. So that's all this. That's the point we at right now. Can't go to Terry because I don't want to go to Terry because my mom lives already Terry. My wife works in Jackson. I work in Jackson. I do Instacart in Jackson. I do stuff here in Jackson where I need to know what's going on. So I'm just in an instance right now. So I just kind of we trying to really just kind of playing it by ear and just kind of going by the day, taking it one day at a time, one night at a time, one hotel at a time. That's what my wife said the other day. But let me tell y'all what I'm kind of more upset about is the way the city of Jackson has got stuff going on. It's like even if a plane like do we ever think about what would happen if a tornado messed around and tore Jackson up? Like seriously, what if it really did? And could we do anything about it? What are our contingency plans to say, okay, well, City of Jackson told up, where can we send folks, this and that? What can we do with these folks to actually help these people? Not just telling these folks, y'all got to get the hell out. And it's just you. Even though Shockway didn't say it like that, but in his voice, you really can hear, y'all need to get the hell on out. And that's kind of disheartening because, like, nobody knows what to do in this situation. Like, you don't grown folks, especially if you've been living on your own for a long time. Like I said this hadn't happened since what 83. I was 2, but we stayed in Terry then. So it's like almost 30 something years, 37, 35 years. We've been this has happened, and what do you do from there? Like that has an effect us. If it never affects you, like you have folks packing up their whole houses and leaving. When I looked up my street, you saw nothing but U-Haul and Penske trucks and this and that and this and that. That is like it pulls together, but like, oh my God, like what do you don't know if you're gonna go back to your house the next day. We got a whole neighborhood that flooded. That even if after the day they say, okay, well y'all can go back home. Well, what's the point that these folks can't go back to their own homes? They started flooding Saturday. Like, honest to goodness, how can you help these folks? Is there any way you can say, okay, well, the government needs to come in? Like, if FEMA and MEMA needs to step in, right, one time, like, make negotiation with some of these folks. Hey, look, we got folks out here that somebody has a rent house. Why can't I move into your house temporarily until something comes up and it does better? What if the government just paid it to? People ain't got no taxes. I'm shocked. I don't look. Honest to goodness, I don't see I don't see if y'all were in our neighborhood and y'all had to move. I don't understand how y'all got that money together because I didn't have it like that. If I had to up and evacuate my home right now, I would have it. But in order to I'm paying, you gonna almost pay what I pay. Hopefully we won't pay in rent what we pay for hotel rooms. That's just really kind of ridiculous. Then you kind of look at like, shoot, you still got we got kids in this stuff, and blessed enough, it was like Killing can stay at her grandma's house sometimes, but we got Aiden coming, and then you know what I'm saying, kids got to have baths and this and that and this and that and this and that. It's ridiculous because nobody knows what to do. I think people that if you rent a house, like they really need to be like, hey, look, we'll make this deal with you. Rent this house out to this person temporarily, and then the government will give you like a tax break on your house or something like that, or something like that. Give people incentive to help people out. So I feel like even if you come to these hotels and stuff like that, the best they can give you is probably $5 to $10 off. But what's that if you paying $60 to $70 a night? I mean, really, if they give you that $70 a week, but shoot, you got some folks that's gonna charge you everywhere from $380 to almost $500 to $600 just to rent a hotel. That's ridiculous. Like I said, I don't know, cause like I said, tax ain't dry. I don't get no taxes anyway. And my wife was like, well, I don't want to pay my taxes and find a whole nother house. I don't want it either. I kind of like my house. My neighbors really not low key. They the real MVP because like seriously, they have called me. Like we've been talking. The guy we talk every time I see him on the street. I talk to him. Like my neighbors in. But like these last couple days, I have talked to them probably more in the last few days, probably than I probably talked to them last 3 years. Like not saying like I talk to them every night I see them, but like I finally got both of my neighbors' number and they called me, and said, okay, well, you know, this and this going on. We went by your house. Well, I went by your house. You know, we drove in. One of my neighbors said, I want to go back home. I don't blame you. You missed your house. You missed your way of living, and that's messed up. That you get removed from your way of living because stuff ain't right. It don't make no sense. You want better. You really, really kind of want better. So that's why I'm telling y'all. If y'all got some people that's in this struggle right now, y'all go check on your people because we ain't okay. Like for real, we not okay. Because I expect to really better out of the whole, city of Jackson thing. Because it's just one of them things like, damn, this caught me off guard. And like I said, with me, it caught me double because I can't work. You know what I'm saying? Massaging not all I do, but that's my main job. I'm a hustler. I can find anything to do. Really, really, I can find me somebody office to work out of. Really for about a couple of days. But that's still... I'm paying rent on a building that I can't do nothing with. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that the City of Jackson owe me something, but like, Jesus, at some point, when is the whole cost of the situation that everybody understanding to a bad situation? I'm a person to beg, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm a type of person, I believe in God, I believe in something as the Most High. But I feel like some of the religion and stuff we living in, people really don't show it. I believe in paying stuff forward. I believe in doing stuff like that. But some of the stuff like, hey, helping your fellow man and stuff like that, I understand. Like, I be trying my best. Like, really, if I hadn't had to work Saturday, because I work Saturday. If I hadn't had to work, I'd probably out there helping people bag up sand and getting up, volunteering or something like that, because this is a bad situation to be in. To never know that you're not in a position to go back to your own home. That's just really messed up. And the thing is, you just trying to make do with what you got. And that's kind of just all the way jacked up. I can't sit at home and do my podcast. I got to sit up in the hotel. Which, like I said, my wife came in here. We kind of, it's cozier in here, you know what I'm saying, than where we was last night. And I don't like being in a position where I got to even be. I can't do a podcast at home. I can't do a podcast in my office. Like I said, it's just, ooh. And trying to figure it out, that's a pain in the ass. This is something I did not want to just have to figure out. But it's just, I don't know. Maybe at the end of that, I kind of think that maybe sometimes we don't need to depend on the City of Jackson. Maybe we need to start trying to put our own little efforts in and try to make stuff better, because ain't nobody really do this stuff for us. Like, really, really. We're sitting here like, we need help. We need help. And who's there to really help us? Like, really, really. Like I said, they only can do so much. They doing search and rescues and stuff like this, so that means money going to be tied in search and rescues and this and that, and bringing equipment and getting boats down here to pull people out and stuff like that. You got people volunteering. Talking to Noah Brown on the boat the other day, acting like he was Noah. We're trying to see if he, trying to help people get out of the boat. But like this is just like, this is way past me. Like, for real, it's right past me. So, I mean, I think we need to, if we want stuff to change, we need to insert ourselves more into the political side of Jackson. That's just one thing we do. Because, like I said, we can't always put us. Look, the mayor's only one man. He can say what he wants, but like I said, he got other people he got to report to. And honestly, at the end of the day, we can make a bigger push for change in Jackson. We messing with these potholes. It's really some stuff we can do. Maybe they thought, if the city of Jackson thought on a smaller scale would grow gradually, and it would really help stuff out. So it's just one of the things I think that at the end of the day we need to really just be like, oh shit, we need like, hey, when is it gonna be enough where that did y'all? Okay, if y'all go where Jackson Academy is, and y'all see where that bridge is, there is nothing but trash coming out of that bridge. At some point, that's on us too. That is on us, but it need to be on us to help clean it up too. Maybe we can't do like as much, and I think really a lot of people we just sitting around waiting on the city of Jackson to do something for us, and that's not gonna happen. Like I really like, hopefully like this podcast gets a little bit bigger where we can start doing like charities and figure out how to clean stuff for the city of Jackson. I pray one day that it will get big enough that we can put back into the community. So that's probably like I said, when me and my team we gonna come up with ways of putting stuff back into the community so that we can aid, like say stuff for city of Jackson or a little bit more cleanup, trying to find a way to fix potholes, and even somewhere to help some of the kids that might keep them out of trouble. That's always been my goal ever since I used to take karate. That's what my sensei put back into me is like we need to start focusing back on what's going on past us. It's not always about just us as adults. We got to put back into our generation and try to teach them. You always say you never really meet a bad kid, but you just need a kid that needs a lot more concentration. But that's just what it is. So, me myself, I just think that, hey, we can do better as a city. And then that maybe at the end of the day, we need to start concentrating on each other and start trying to focus on what we got to offer for each other and try to make something better out of this whole situation. Because it ain't finna get no better. It really, really ain't. You know what I'm saying? I can sit here on this podcast and talk all night, but until somebody else kind of, you know what I'm saying, believes in what they doing too, they ain't gonna do no good. We just sitting here. I'm just sitting here with a mic, having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? I just be hoping something touches somebody's heart and be like, you know what? Let's do a little bit better. So like I said, y'all check all these people that just out here that's suffering from them. Y'all check on these people because, like I said, we gotta figure stuff out. It ain't what it's all cracked up to be. It's point blank, straight like that. It ain't what it cracked up to be. This is just a pain in the ass all the way around. So somebody got to tell me something different about what's going on with the city of Jackson, so I can believe that hey, it's gonna get better. So I ain't gonna stay on this podcast long tonight. This is gonna be a short podcast, but maybe I'll probably do some short intros for the next episode. So maybe tomorrow night I'll probably have my wife on. She can tell y'all how she feels about the situation. So it's gonna be like a really just crazy situation. So what I can say is y'all be good, be blessed, and y'all check on y'all people because like I said, we ain't doing okay.